Hey everyone, it's the Brutal Commander back with another interview ahead of the UK Dev Dealers show on the 7th of November. It's going to be so sick. And who have I got with me? None other than the co-headliners, Dire Thorns. How we doing, fellas?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm the Dire Thorns guy.
Hell yeah! And
I'm also here.
can we just introduce ourselves?
Okay, hi. I'm Jake. I'm the dictator of Dire Thorns. I'm on vocals and bass.
Cool, I'm Dylan. I'm on vocals and sampling.
Nice. And who are we missing?
Oh yeah, we're missing like the two guitarists and then the drummer. Like they weren't available. That's all right. Interviews with all 5 members, unless it's in person, are really hard. If they're in person, then it's great. But if it's on virtual stuff, it's really hard. And I've learned that from a previous interview that did not go very well.
Well, there you have it, people. Oh man, I'm so excited to have you guys on the lineup for this show because it's just been in the making for a little bit, hasn't it, Jake?
Oh yeah. We tried to make one for the April tour that we did with Isle, but we had to drop out of that one because at the time we weren't really able to get down to London because of a bunch of different things. But now that's not a problem anymore, and we can come down there, and that's great.
Hell yeah, can't wait to have you down there. And you've been tearing up venues all over the country at the moment, haven't you? What motivated you to start spreading your sound around?
In it depends in what way you mean, because what motivated me to start like doing gigs all around the country was mainly just because we're based in Grimsby, and we had maybe 2 venues to choose from and a couple of bands that would allow under 18s. And when I started gigging with Dire Thorns, I was 15. So my best bet was to go out to the other places around the country, because that's where other venues existed. I didn't really have much of a choice back in my hometown. But nowadays, there's more of a scene coming around, which is nice, trying to get local show in for January.
There you have it. So if you're a promoter out there, you got to be booking these guys for January.
Yeah, don't worry. We've already booked it in. We've already booked it in.
Yeah. Ooh.
We've already booked it in.
Have we announced it yet?
No, we haven't announced it yet. No, we haven't. But that's fine. I don't care if it leaks through this, because I mean, what realistically is going to happen?
You're gonna get doxxed, man. They're gonna find you.
They're gonna find you, bro.
Not again.
Can I just ask a little bit of history of the band? I'm really curious to find out how did Dire Thorns come together, and what gave you the idea for a masked aesthetic?
Well, with this question, I mean, I originally started trying to make the band when I was in about year 5 in like 2015. So I basically when I first gotten into like Slipknot and stuff was when I started thinking, okay, I want to do this sort of thing. And I mean, I would basically only listen to that band for about 2 years before I started listening to other ones and getting into them. And even now, I'm incredibly picky over who I actually listen to. So I've completely lost track. Could you give me the question again?
How did the band form, and what inspired the mask aesthetic?
Oh, what inspired the masks was because I saw Slipknot doing it and was just like, hey, that's pretty cool. And then I just started doing it. Only in recent times, to be honest, have I started thinking, okay, what exactly do I want to do with this? Which is why I've got a new mask that I've designed that's completely different to this one, if you can tell. that's completely different design, and you might see this some point soon, but I've started thinking, all right, I want my masks to actually mean something instead of just looking cool. And I've been trying to encourage other bandmates to do it. So far, Dylan's the only one to properly get on hold with that, because our guitarists are super gay about it. They're like, no, no.
I have a full.
I want to wear merch of other bands like everyone else.
I wear a full robe with a noose around my neck and this mask, and it's horrid on stage to wear, but it looks awesome. And I'm a pretty big guy as it is. I terrify people, and I don't know if that's good or bad, but Jake likes it.
I like it. I like it. I less terrify people, more confuse them. I'm like the Hegel of the. I'm like the Hegel.
You're the little like imp demon going around on people's shoulders.
I'm not that small. Jamie's the short one, all right. I'm gonna turn my phone up. There we go.
Oh, this is gonna be fun. What has been the biggest lesson that you've learned so far being a band in today's underground?
Oh, Dylan, you answer this one.
Repeat the question for me, please.
What's been the biggest lesson that you've learned so far being a band in the underground today?
It's all about balancing everything. Being an underground band, you can't always expect everyone to be there for you or everyone to just be the most receptive, but there's definitely a community there. When you meet other bands, oftentimes they're excited to meet you. If there's nothing else, it's that the other bands you meet, they're bigger fans of you than anything else. And that's awesome to experience.
Nice. You got anything to say?
What I've learned from being in the scene is that there are lots of bands that suck, but I'm not going to name them. But fortunately, I haven't seen them around more recently. They seem to have fizzled out of existence. And most of the ones that I've been seeing are just really, really good, to be honest. All the bands that we've been like touring with are just objectively really good. And it's great because I get to watch them, and you know when I really like a band, because I don't start like moving and such, because when I really like someone, I stop and I just start watching them completely still, analyzing every movement they're doing, and just like, okay, how do I do that in this?
Completely.
Why am I talking gibberish in this interview? I'm usually far more cohesive.
Everything I've ever seen of you moshing and dancing has completely been recontextualized by what you just said.
Well, no. All right. It doesn't mean I don't like it. It just doesn't mean that I'm sat there in awe. All right, because the thing is, I like to support the people on stage, and that's what I'm doing there. I usually, when I'm going full on like that, it's because I want them to. I'm doing what I would want them to do for me. Whereas, what I'd really want to do is look at them and just be like, oh, cool, I really like that. Just like stand still the whole time, taking in everything. But if they were in the crowd, I would feel happy if they were going full on. So I go full on because I want them to do it. But sometimes I just want to stop and stare, okay? That's what I mean. If I'm moshing for you, it doesn't mean that you're bad. Do not interpret that like dumb Dylan over here.
I mean, you raised a really good point there, though, that I do feel like the underground as a whole has really stepped up a level. Like, the bar is, like, definitely a few more rungs.
Oh, some of the production of bands I've witnessed. I'm the newest member to Dire Thorns. I've been for like 5 shows, 6 at a push. And the level of production I've seen, there was one guy at our Sheffield show. You'll remember him, Jake. The guy with all the lights and
Neocryptid.
He was so cool. One-man band, the production was bigger than any other band I've seen. It was so cool.
He had a full. Oh, sorry.
No, continue.
He had a full light show. All right. This is
Everything
honestly
down to a T. It was so cool, and the highest production I've seen from a band, let alone one guy on his own, and that's like an underground little thing. So cool. He brought everything to the show, all his own lighting equipment by train.
Wow.
The dedication is insane, and I've never seen anything like it, and that sticks with you.
Damn.
And that's the kind of experiences you get going to these shows and experiencing this subculture of UK metal.
You just meet some really, really interesting people.
So
and sometimes you get people like Neocryptid who just blow you out of the park. I've never seen someone who was like a one-man band do it. Like usually when you see a one-man metal band, you're thinking, yeah, cool, that's good for one man. With Neocryptid, it's like, oh wait, no, he's using the fact that he's one man to his advantage here by bringing more stuff that he wouldn't have the space to bring if he had more people. It's fantastic.
And it's ingenuity like that I don't think you'll see anywhere else.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And you know what? That's amazing because when you get acts like that coming in through the underground, that inspires all the other bands that are watching, and then they, adopt some sort of element to their show, and then all of a sudden you've got another 10 bands with amazing light shows.
Oh yeah, on the ride home, me and Jake were talking about production, all
There you
kinds of
go.
stuff, and we always are.
It's great that I love that. I love that bands are so susceptible to the inspiration that they can draw from going to a live show. I think it just makes everything move forward in a really sort of positive motion. I love it. All right. Can I just ask? So, how do you feel about the role of social media and being a band at the moment? Because
Unavoidable.
you guys are fairly young. And so I want to sort of get your sort of perspective on it because you've obviously, been born into social media era almost, and yeah, I think. Do you feel like it's? Do you think like it's a necessary evil, like a lot of bands feel like, or do you enjoy that aspect of it? Do you think it's like hand in hand? Like, yeah.
I believe that the whole social media aspect is uh, basically one of the few reasons that it feels possible to get anywhere in music, because before you had this sort of, you know, as inorganic as a lot of it is, this more organic version of being able to put yourself out there. Before we had that, to my understanding, you basically had to get on a label or have enough money to present like a label. And those labels were not very good. They were exploitative. They were not like Metal Vision, the record that we're on, that's actually really cool. But anyway, I digress. I really like Andy. I love Andy Bacone. But
Biggest thing
I do
think-
believe that social media was a massively good thing for bands. However, at the same time, I kind of hate that I have to record everything because, and only because, all the best moments happen when I turn the sodding thing off. If I could get all the best moments on camera and then upload that and edit it, I would be happy to do as much social media as possible. But the problem is, I have to pull the camera out, wait for it to turn on, click record, and then tell someone to do what they just did that was hilarious all over again.
And it never lands the same way.
It never lands. It always ruins the moment. If it wasn't for that,
To go off what Jake is saying, social media is the biggest the biggest uplift and the biggest curse there is, because while it allows bands, especially smaller bands, to put the best versions of themselves out there, that takes work. And a lot of these funny moments or these awesome bits you see on a lot of social media are completely engineered. And it takes a real creative mind. You can be great at the music, at everything there. It takes a whole different creative and technical mind to create a funny, concise bit of video content that will get anywhere on social media beyond just views, really. So, yeah.
Sorry, there's a bit of apple in my teeth.
Do you feel, because I mentioned before, you're a fairly young band, do you feel like you're welcomed by the older generation of bands?
Yes, I believe that we're given an upper hand, frankly. Whenever anyone mentions, oh, we're a young under-18 band, you could be crap. And people will look at you and go, wow, look at them. Aren't they great for their age? And this is I've always perceived it as a massive advantage. I've always capitalized upon it as much as possible. And I've always been very open about that because I utterly despise when people have an objective advantage or an objectively great sort of like shtick marketing technique gimmick, that's the word, a great gimmick, and they're like, it's not a gimmick, it's actually just something that's really meaningful to us. Shut up. All right, if you're wearing pretty masks, it's a gimmick. If you're talking about how young you are, it's a gimmick. Embrace it. Embrace your advantage. God, you're gonna make me do a rant about Vended.
And I feel like...
No, we're not sons. Well, then stop getting all the benefits from it and then acting as if you're not.
I feel like especially the older bands as well are the most welcoming of new age bands, because a lot of people have the assumption the older bands are closed-minded. Well, that's definitely sometimes the case. It's very few, really. And a lot of the older bands are just doing it for the fun of doing it now, which
all
makes
the
it
most
very
pretentious
welcoming.
bands. Oh, sorry about that.
No, continue.
All the most pretentious bands that I have met have not been old. They have been in their 20s because they're all metalcore bands.
And they're trying to make a career out of it rather than make the best.
I swear to God, the amount of metalcore bands that charge a £300 fee when they haven't even done as many gigs as us, it's insane.
So do you feel like there is a genre inequality in the underground?
There's definitely
I feel like there's too many thrash bands. It gets really boring. I am so bored of thrash. I go to so many shows, and the amount of thrash bands that I see is insane. All small thrash bands sound the same. But I don't know. My other bandmates really like it. I don't know. Maybe they just haven't done as many gigs as I have. You speak.
Dire Thorns definitely is elevated by the uniqueness of the joining of especially nu metal, such a broad term. All the weird little influences that come in is just melds together so perfectly. And before I joined this band, I don't think I've ever heard a cooler implementation and a more clear implementation, different influences from across metal and everything. And
Stop
I'm not
gassing
much
us
of a
up.
metalhead,
You
and
sound like a twat.
Hey, I'm a paid shill.
The new super pack, Dire Thorns pack. Oh God, we should get that patented. That's how we're gonna make our living now. We're gonna be a super pack.
There you go. So what can London expect from the performance that you're gonna bring to the Dev on the 7th of November?
They can keep their expectations low because it's the first show of the tour, so we might be completely under rehearsed. But hopefully we're not. I'm trying to get, since I'm unemployed now, I'm able to get in a lot more practices. So hopefully we'll be pretty well rehearsed, but maybe we won't be. But hopefully we will be. We'll see. Hopefully we will be. I think we will.
Even if it's a wreck, we have fun doing it.
There you go.
Yeah.
That's metal, isn't it? Sometimes it doesn't have to be polished. Sometimes, you can just lay it out raw.
A lot of the metal I'm experienced to being here is polished is the wrong word entirely. Recorded on a tin can, sound like someone's being strangled, but
Sounds lovely.
it's not about that, is it? It's about how you feel from it.
There you go.
Oh, when you said, ironically so, when you said tin can, I started thinking of Vulgar Dissection, which is, ironically so, one of the most perfect sounding live bands I've ever seen. Their snare sounds like a tin can. It's like a 10-inch tom with a little snare on the bottom of it. It's awesome. But
It's the intentionality
as,
that gets you.
Yes.
yeah, like as much as they're supposed to be very much a raw thing, and they do have a raw sound, they just sound perfect live, and that's something I can say I've never been able to master. I mean, I usually cheap out on things. I don't want to spend. What do you mean £1,000 for a pedal? It's this size. All right, I'm not spending £1,000 on anything. Full stop. I wouldn't spend it on a house. I would be homeless.
I mean, you got like what, £100 bass? Plug it into the
Oh,
PA.
it was 85 actually.
Oh,
My base was
damn.
£85 on eBay, and I've been using that for years.
Hell yeah. Nice. Same strings?
No, actually. I'll tell you when I change my strings. I change my strings when it stops staying in tune. That's how I know. Usually about once a year. Well, no, actually, with guitars, it's about nearly once a year. With bass, I don't know, maybe like 2 years or so.
When it starts making your fingers orange, you might want to change the strings.
Oh, no, but then I lick my fingers and I think, oh,
you're gonna get tinnitus from it. You might want to reconsider.
Money makes me hard, like pennies.
So the whole new metal and death metal mix, why did you want to put death metal into the new metal?
Oh, that wasn't intentional. Basically, what happened was when I started gigging as Dire Thorns in 2015, in like the local Grimsby scene, we did like 2 local shows at Old Lloyd's Arms, and I didn't know what to call us, but I knew that we were like blatantly ripping off a lot of new metal bands with a lot of the shit that we were doing. But what I found out was people were calling us a death metal band, and I was like, I was like flattered. Like, you think we're a real metal band? Really? And I was honestly, I didn't expect it. But you know, I've noticed, okay, maybe our riffs do follow a sort of death metal-y formula. Okay, cool, that's us. I don't like the phrase new death metal though, even though we use it, because when you think of a band that's new death metal, I don't know what you think of, but the sounds that come in my head are not the right ones. But I don't know what is, but it's definitely a mix of the two. Maybe it's because new metal isn't a genre. I don't know.
Well, whatever it is that you do it fucking amazingly. So,
Thank you.
Everyone's gonna love it in London. I already know. The Dev has a really great sound system, and you're just gonna smash it.
Oh, yeah. I'm really looking forward to this show, especially after seeing how the Isle show went last year. I'm just like, okay, if it's with UK Death Dealers, it's gonna be good. And actually, if I'm gonna say, if there's any way to categorize this band or what I want it to sound like, what I want it to feel like, is basement torture. I want it to feel like creepy, maybe sexually frustrated basement torture. Okay, that's what I want it to come across as, and whatever genre that is, cool.
Hell yeah!
I think we should introduce more chains and fire into our live stage ambience.
Nah, not fire. Fires for metalcore bands. Nah, chains, however. Bring in more chains on stage. That might be a good idea. I do have a couple of chains. In the Udar music video, I had a bunch of chains like on the ceiling and stuff. I think that's still set up in my biodad's house's attic, so I can go and get them. Yeah, we filmed that video in an attic, and I think it's still decorated the same way because he doesn't use it.
Maybe incorporate some wood.
Yeah. Oh my god. Dylan, this is like the music video idea we had with the other band. We need a music video where we're just in a circle jerking.
In a pentagram, jerking.
Darkened in.
Oh yeah, we do have
You
5
got
minutes.
something
Actually, no,
strapped
2
to
of them
a
are
table.
minors. We couldn't do that. All right, we could do 3 of us. We'll just have to try and not be embarrassed standing next to Joe.
Yeah. I think he'd make up for our disappointments, though.
No, that's what I'm talking about. We'd be intimidated by his girth.
Exactly. He'd make up for what we lack.
Oh, perfect. Have you got any advice for young bands that are wanting to start a band or already just about formed a new band? Like, have you got some advice for maybe what they should do? Any kind of like...
If you are a young person, maybe even in primary school like I was, and you're trying to start a band, I will tell you straightforward, chances are you will not find reliable band members for a very, very, very long time. But that's okay. You will find them eventually, but don't wait around for other people. I'm not saying become a solo act, because this is something that I was always like, people were like, oh, why don't you just do it yourself? I was like, no, I don't want to be a bleeding solo act. But you don't have to do that. Just go ahead with it. Whatever you're doing, just go ahead with it yourself. And if other people join you, let them. Bring them in. Give them stuff to do. Like, but I've lost track. I think you've got the idea.
Another point I like to bring up in most creative circles is that there's no one way to go about something, but no matter what you do, you should never overthink it. Overthinking, procrastinating, just trying to be something you're not even, just do it, just have fun with it. I know it's oversaid, but don't overthink it. Whatever feels right, you need to have a very basic level of understanding for music, really. And there's no one way to go about it. Just whatever works, whatever you like, whatever's fun. Don't
That's
feel
actually a great
bogged
point
down
as
by
well.
expectations.
Yeah, that's actually a pretty great point, because another thing that I was always concerned about was, what if I do a way that makes it so that I'll never progress? And that might sound weird, but in my mind, it was like, okay, there are some things that you do that will make you progress, and some things that you do that will make you never get past that again. But the reality is, you basically have infinite attempts at this. You have infinite attempts, and you can try anything out as long as it's not illegal. Maybe, I don't know. I mean, technically, we
They
like
won't find out.
I mean, we technically trespassed upon to abandoned buildings to film music videos. We got approached by the police when filming these words, actually. That was a funny situation.
Cool.
Trespass technically isn't a criminal activity.
No.
It's not legal, but it's not criminal, so they couldn't arrest us. Thank God. But they could tell us to bugger off, and if we do come back, then, oh, that's disobeying a police officer, and, oink, oink, whatever.
My final thought on this as well, don't let anything bring you down, but temper your expectations. You're not going to go from just starting the band to playing a huge arena in any good space of time unless you're that 1 in a billion, which you're almost certainly not. But treat everything like you are the shit, and eventually you will be the shit.
It takes an incredible amount of hard work to get to that point.
Yeah, ultimately, you
You get out
people
as much as
say
you put
that,
into
oh,
it.
you will never. People say, oh, you can't expect to, get to this certain big stage or this certain big stage. But the reality is, as I said, you have infinite attempts. You can get to whatever stage you want, however high you want. Nothing will stop you from that. But it will always take longer than you anticipate.
Yeah.
This is a marathon, not a sprint.
It's 5 marathons and a bit of muddy water in between, I think.
It's a marathon, but just kind of in the middle, someone in the middle, you try and run through a doorway, but turns out it's just one that someone painted on the wall, like in the Looney Tunes, and then you just crash into it for a while, and you're like, wait, no, okay, I have to go that way. That wasn't supposed to be an analogy. I just wanted to rant on about that.
You become 2D for a little while there.
Yeah.
Maybe
I'm too much of a philosophical thinker. As I said at the start of this, I'm Hegel.
Indeed. You have just brought out an album or an EP album?
Album, not an EP. An EP is 5 songs or less, or maybe 6 songs if you're weird. Some people release 6-song EPs. That's really weird. Stop doing that. It's weird. All right. Add a transitional track and make it a 7-track album, as much as I hate that number for an album. Anyway, yes, it's an album, and it's called The Happy Man, and it's really cool, and you should listen to it. And we've got
that happy if you really look into it, but you don't need to worry about that. Just keep gooning.
We've also got a music video for Cartina coming out tomorrow as we film this. It's coming out tomorrow at 6 p.m. Greenwich Mean Time, and it's animated by someone that's on the other side of that wall, because I'm lucky enough to be siblings with a 3D animator. So, yeah. One of the many projects we've been working on was Cartina, and it took so long. So please watch it. Unlike what you did with the How Could Me You lyric video, I was actually really happy with that. 200 views.
Just check out everything we've done.
Don't worry, I'll be sure to share everything around.
You're what we call a good viewer. A good algorithmic number.
I am part of
algorithmic numbers. That's what I used to call them.
We are the algorithm. That's what we've become. Alright, dudes. Well, I am very much looking forward to seeing you guys at the Dev, and I can't wait for everyone to witness what you have to offer. Have you got any final words for the people out there watching that are going to be coming to the show? Thinking about coming to the show? Maybe they're undecided yet. What can you say to tip them over the edge?
Just take a chance on it.
Yeah.
It's something new. If you don't like it, it's no skin off your teeth. Have a good night.
I didn't hear what Dylan said, but we're going to be playing a new song at the show. So come over so you can see us absolutely botch that thing. We never play a song right first time live, so you're going to have a fun time watching that.
Excellent.
And expect there to be a bunch of technical difficulties.
Oh yeah.
That's one of
I'm not going to invest in equipment. I'm not going to invest in equipment that I know works. I'm going to invest in the cheapest equipment, see it doesn't work, then try and repair it and eventually get it to kind of work. Okay? That's how I do it. And you as the crowd, it's your problem to deal with it. Okay?
Authenticity.
Well, there you have it. You might hear them, you might not, but it would still be fun. All right, guys.
You might hear me. I'm the one with the loud technique.
If they turn him up enough.
Don't you worry about volume in the dev. It's bloody loud, isn't it? You're going to have such a great time. I can't wait. All right, guys. We're going to leave it there. Yeah, excellent stuff. I will post this interview up ASAP. And yeah, this is UK Dev Dealers, Dire Thorns. We'll see you all soon. Take care, everyone. Bye.
Let's go.